Hello, in this video I will talk about a Jet Li movie, but before I do that I'll show you the boat that my son made in his Sunday school class. Um, he learned to make them here at home. My grandmother used to make these boats, and when he came out of the class, for some reason they don't allow the parents in the classroom. So when he came out of there, I believe they don't. I haven't tested that yet. But the spouse told me that if I bother her over there, she was going to baker act me, so I don't bother her in the Sunday school class. My mother yesterday said that if I didn't carry, or 2 days ago, if I didn't carry my daughter's big, heavy book bag, then she would throw me in jail. So I choose to do things. But what I do is I took the big yellow wagon, and my daughter has to pull it. Alright, so here we go. Something beautiful here. I choose to do things to keep my freedom, because the only thing that these women have against me is that I don't work. But then again, a few days ago, I was the only person around to help my mother get to the bathroom. I had to pull her pants down and her underwear down and help her sit on the toilet and things like that. I mean, and she has to pay $35 each time she goes to see the physical therapist, right? And the way I think about things, if she would only get up out of bed, she wouldn't need a physical therapist. I mean, sure, the physical therapist can help anybody out, anybody that has a desire. Right now, my mother is talking to the life insurance agent that called on her phone. My son also made this jet fighter or airplane, and I told him, give it to the little girl right next to you. I was talking to her dad, or better yet, this dad stood next to me and talked to me. That's very unusual. Then he told me he just got here from Puerto Rico maybe a year ago, and that he hasn't seen me bike riding anymore. And so I told him that we have flat tires, but they're really only my bicycle has flat tires. I says, oh, I got the air machine and I got the patches. And I told him, yeah, but I think we need the actual tires. So that will be another day. One person told me about his experience in Europe. He said that people went to restaurants over there, but after they pay the cashier, they sit down with somebody else that is already sitting down on their own on a table. Whereas in the United States, everybody sits down in their own table. They don't join you to have lunch with you. No, they sit on their own tables. So that's a difference. I'm very happy that my grandmother didn't teach me how to make them. She made them. But this spouse taught my son how to do it. Now, I did learn how to make airplanes, which is very impressive to 4-year-olds or 3-year-olds. But it's very unimpressive. Well, no, it is very impressive to children. So you can see. Again, I'm very happy. I haven't gotten the spouse to read to my son about yet, but she is supposed to be reading with my son. The happiest thing that happened last night was they went to Walmart and they got here at 8:30 at night. My son's bedtime's 9 o'clock. So he took a shower, he got to bed, it was 9:30, and everyone was talking too too loudly, and they had bought him a toy that I didn't approve of, a spy watch, and it had instructions. And I told the spouse, why do you buy him this $5 thing? I asked how much it was. Buy him something educational, like a magnet or something like one of those kits for $10 so he can make a light bulb turn on with wires, with electricity. I told her, I have a whole list on Amazon of things to buy for the boy. Tools and equipment, not, wah, I want that toy. None of that. Wah, I want that toy. No, don't buy anything you just see. Make, from your brain, think about what you want, and then go look for it. And then buy it. Not that you're walking along and then you say, oh, I want that one. Now I want that one. So my son was acting up because no one would read to him the instructions, which would look complicated. The women, they don't read the instructions. And I told the spouse, if you keep him home from school today, I will read the instructions with him tomorrow. Because he got to sleep too late. I think it was 10:15, 10:30 when he finally fell asleep, because the spouse told him to go to sleep in the bedroom, because they were putting away the groceries, making noise in the kitchen and in the living room. I think some of them were eating. No, I don't think so. I don't think they were eating yesterday. But they went to, they were making noise. And sure enough, the spouse just barks orders. Go to sleep! I'm like, that's not the way you talk to a young boy. So I was over there. In fact, my mother today told me, you are very polite to your son. That's one of your good qualities. Now, I also bothered him because I put on Booker T. Washington on the iPod, the book about character building, and my son was falling asleep listening to it because, well, a book, someone reading to you makes you sleepy. And so what happened was we both fell asleep. And then the women were upset because, well, they did bother us a bunch of times. Like, first one had to go to the bathroom and turn on the light, and the bathroom is in the room where my son is sleeping. Then the other one had to go to the bathroom and turn on the light and go to the bathroom. And finally the third one, and even the dog came to my room about 5-6 times. And I told her that I'm going to have to teach her to close the door after she comes in. Then my mother went to her room, and I told her to please lower the volume of the TV because we could hear it right through the wall. And she got upset about that. Then I went to the kitchen and told the women to please lower their voices because we can hear them and we're trying to fall asleep. So that was the way the day went last night, Sunday night. What else happened? This morning, I found out that I got up at 7, all right? So I went straight to sleep from 10:30 to 7 a.m. And I found out that, and I was in bed at 7, and I said, I didn't tell her, but I was protecting my son because the spouse usually wakes up like this. Get up! I mean, that's the way that's the way the spouse wakes people up, all right? Get up! Get dressed! I mean, that's the way the spouse is, and I really don't like that. So I went to the bathroom, then I went to the kitchen, then I went and hovered around my son because I was making noise, but I don't want him to wake up like the way the spouse does. She's too abrupt, and so. So, well, I think they were late for school because yesterday the spouse said she had to go get some gasoline, so my son gave her $6 from the Boy Scout change that we had. And then he asked for it back when he bought to keep him quiet at Walmart, she bought him the spy watch. And I told her, why did you take him to Walmart? And why do you bring him back so late? So I do more parenting things, but that's because I plan. I mean, if you're going to Walmart at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, don't come back at 8:30 at night. When the kids got a school night the next day, a school day. Well, and so what ended up happening was my son woke up slowly because they were already late. Even the spouse. Uh, Usually, by the time I wake up and I see the spouse, she's already in uniform. All right, she has already got her school uniform. But this time, where she works, but she didn't yank my son out of bed this morning because she was sleepy, and she complained to me that she had to sleep in my bed because I fell asleep next to my son in the big bed in the master bedroom, and my daughter in the master bedroom complained to the spouse, and then the spouse told me that I snored too much, and so she couldn't sleep. So I think my daughter ended up sleeping with my grandmother. I mean, with my mother. It was it was a strange evening. What else is going on? Well, let me tell you about Jet Li and his movie. Yeah. Hum. Jet Li movies have a good message. In one movie, the old man says to his son that he was a bad man. He was a rich bad man, but that a wise man told him, "Do one good deed per day." And then he said, "A year after I did that, you, my son, were born." And so the rich man was finally happy that in his old age he had a son. That's the movie with Manting. Manting! Jet Li yells for Manting, and Manting gives him the spear. I didn't like the bad guy in that movie though, because he got burned and it didn't die. I mean, I don't like it when I know that they exaggerate movies very much. Like you jump from one building and you land and you keep running, but that bad guy should have died right away. All right. So that's it for now. Enjoy your life. Be better than I am. I got the dog over here. I got the cat over there. And here comes my son. All right. Talk to you later. Enjoy your life.